I think 2020 is going to be, quite a busy time, and very similar to what we saw on the Republican side in 2016, where you saw a very crowded field. You saw, 17 Republicans on the debate stage debating one another and fending for the Republican nomination. You also saw the Republican National Committee really take a step back and not put their thumb on the scales. I think you'll see a very similar dynamic on the Democratic side. The DNC, the Democratic National Committee, won't take a very starring role in terms of putting their thumb on the scale like they did in 2016, and they will really let this whole dynamic, this primary dynamic, play out. I think for 2020, in terms of who's running on the Democratic side, a more apropos question is who is not running. As of now, we have several candidates who've already declared their candidacy, several other folks who are saying that they are looking into it, and then you have a whole slew of other folks who are certainly evaluating it and considering it with their families. So I think we will see a very crowded field, and we'll see, in addition to many contenders like we saw on the Republican side, you'll also see this dynamic within the Democratic Party that you saw within the Republican Party, meaning that you'll see the sort of fight between the more populist side of the party, the more leftist side, and the more centrist side. So this is going to be, quite a, I think probably a turbulent primary process. And entertaining depending on your perspective. On the Republican side, so if it's the question of who's not running for on the Democratic side, really the question for the Republican side is there is only one person who's running, and that is President Trump, if he wants it. It is his nomination should he want it. It is the party of Trump now is the Republican Party. It is not vice versa. Trump has sort of reframed and reoriented the party around his liking, and it is his nomination if he wants it. Now, there might be a primary challenger. Governor John Kasich from Ohio has already indicated that he'll probably try to run against President Trump. He wasn't a very viable candidate back in 2016, and I doubt he gets much traction in 2020. So even if you see some people try to primary the president, again, it will be his nomination to lose. So a very crowded field on the Democratic side, and a very kind of lonely, singular side on the Republican side.